time has come to clean this awful carpet. I brought it to work because our jet wash is amazing compared to my little one at the unit. So let's get cracked on and give this thing a clean. Alright, so that's my first go over and it has come up a lot better, but this carpet is still disgusting. So I'm going to give it another shampoo. Okay, so the carpet did come up actually really well after cleaning it, but it's still not 100%. So I'm going to dye it. So this will all be black very soon. The carpet has been dyed and it's finished. It doesn't look that great in this light, to be honest, but once it's on the floor and in the car and there's a bit more dark to it, then I think it will look even better. Next upgrade, some new pads. These ones, that's like, oi, I'm not playing with you, dog yet. There, that's all the thickness. The legal limit is 1.5mm before it'll fail an MOT, so that's pretty much a failure right there. So, plenty of thickness on the new pads, so I'm going to get these put on, and hopefully I'll be able to stop. New manifold going in. Oh god. Just need to bolt it on. The manifold is in, and it does look rather nice, and it does clear underneath just about. I know it's got all the wiring and stuff in the way at the minute. I still need to sort all this out, but I'm waiting for the other loom, the starter loom. So when that comes, I can sort all this out. But the exhaust fits nicely. It's actually come with this other piece here, but I think we're gonna chop that off there and put a V-band because this join is pretty crap. So Luke's gonna sort out sort of there all the way backwards on the entire car. Should be good. I've also finished putting my brake lines through and I've undersealed all of the back of here, so everything looks nice and fresh. No dog, I'm not playing. Here's one clingy dog. No, literally this is what it's like hours on end. I do like this dog, but he is rather annoying. Right, you moss. Another upgrade that I wasn't quite planning on doing, but the rear wheel cylinders, the nipples have snapped off both sides as I've gone to bleed the brakes, which is not ideal. So new wheel cylinder, both sides, and giving the drums a good clean off, and there's plenty of thickness on these shoes. So new set of these each side, and then I can start bleeding the brakes. Alright, so moving on, I am relocating my power steering pump to the bottom, and I've got the billet piece all bolted up there, and it looks all fancy and nice. So I just need to bolt this on to there. Well, there you are. Now, it doesn't look like it lines up right there because it doesn't. There's two little spaces. Those two little spaces there will go on. So that'll sit like further out, so it'll all line up. But that's what I'm on with now. So I'll get that bolted up, and then I'll play with these lines and then get it all plumbed in, and then we should have power steering on the EG. More things done on the Civic. The back end is now fully undersealed. All under here is just looking fresh now. I did spend a while wire brushing all of this down, but all the arches are done. All underneath the boot floor. That tank is looking good as well. So basically from here backwards, it's fully undersealed and done. I am going to do all the bottom end of the car, but for now that's going to do it, and I'm going to come back another night and crack on and try and get some more done. Alright, a lot of progress has been made. The engine loom is all on and ready to go. I've had to sort out some plugs here and put some new ones on to fit the throttle body, so that's all done. It's just going to run along here, down, and through the bulkhead. I've sorted it all out where the cables and the harness go through together. I've sorted out the coolant pipes for the heating matrix, so for the blowers inside the car, I just need to Jubilee clip them on. I've sorted the hose that goes from the intake manifold to the brake booster, because without this, you have no brakes, because it uses the vacuum to help things. So that's where we're at. I've obviously got this cable done. The only thing I need to do now to finish the engine bay harness is get these cables and then run it along the wing down here, to meet them two, because that's where that's all going to sit and stay. I have got some cable down there, so I might make do, but ideally it needs to be the same thickness as this. If it's too thicker, it's going to be more resistance, and it's probably not going to help the starter and the alternator. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that for now, but what I'm going to do next is crack on with the interior, get all the carpet back in, all the plastics. But progress is going really well, and hopefully we'll have some coolant in this, and even try and turn the ignition on to see if all the sensors are reading. Now back working on the interior. I've managed to get all the carpet back in. I've put the plastics in, the center console, the armrest is all in, fitted. It's got the bias valve in there, which is nice and neat. I'm trying to get this shifter to fit, and this is sort of the next thing I'm working on. I'm going to have to trim round here so it's big enough, but I think once I trim around there, it'll sit over, and then I might just try and find a bigger like boot. I've got all the wiring to sort out inside, but most of this is plug and play. I just need to somehow mount the ECU up there somewhere, and then plug it all in, and there's a couple of wires I need to tap into to make all the clusters and stuff work on the Speedo. But we're getting some real progress done today, and I'm really happy with how the Civic's coming. I've spent probably about 8 hours here today, and I'm really happy with how it's all looking. I've given the inside plastics a bit of a clean. This rag was brand new before I started, and it is completely filthy inside, so give it a bit of a clean. The outside obviously needs a massive clean, but really happy with how it's getting on. The main thing I need to do now is the fuel system, and I need to get a throttle body. But other than that, we're pretty much there. It's just when it comes to the end of these builds, it's all like the little niggly things that you've got to sort out to make right, like all the little wiring changes I've had to do to make things reach, all the interior stuff to sort out, all the fuel system. I still need to get a belt. I've measured the size, so I'll be able to get a belt. I need to sort out the reservoir for the power steering, so I've got like 20 little jobs to do. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do all those little jobs, and then I might be able to turn it on. Now with the ECU that's in it, it's got a map on it. However good this map is, I have no idea. I'm hoping it's going to be good enough for the engine just to start. I can do a few heat cycles and just make sure everything's running okay. And then once I'm happy with how it's running, I'll then get it trailered to a dyno session and get it tuned properly. And hopefully we should get some good figures out of this little car. But that's all I've got for this video. The next video I'll hopefully button up all those other little things. But for now, I will see you in the next video.